ahead. Make my day by watching episode 5. I'm staying.
Welcome to Boomer Bongo Boulevard. I'm Mike Just Mike. Along with me is my brother, Ron Just Ron. We talk about boomer things connected with boomers. And sometimes we just talk about things like today we're going to present our thoughts on Clint Eastwood. This is season 3, episode 5, number 95, Ron. We're 5 away from 100 episodes.
And we've done 3 straight actors. I don't think we've ever done that, but hey,
no.
What the heck?
Well, this is our 3rd consecutive show about actors, not our 3rd. 3. It's not about 3 straight actors, Ron. Okay. Let's be clear. It's like I told a guy.
But they are.
Well, I had a guy broadcasting a football game with me once, and he said he's talking about, they have A gaps, B gaps, C gaps, mostly A and B gaps, mainly A gaps.
Yeah.
And I said something about gonna have to do a little better job controlling the A gap, and he goes, whatever. We do need to control that A hole or whatever you call it. And I said, there's a reason they call it a gap, John.
Yeah.
A reason it's called a gap. Sometimes
that's a very important hole, by the way.
Yeah, boy,
It controls all the rest.
They're running through our A-hole again. I can't believe it.
Hey, I've even got my Punisher shirt on, since
Clint
got such a high body count in his movies. So.
Yeah, I see that. Hey, but anyway, we're talking. Oh, hey, don't forget to subscribe to our, we got a lot of hits on our show last week on Robert Duvall.
Yeah, certainly did.
We don't want our subscribers to fall away. We've been steadily climbing up with subscribers, and it's kind of stalled out. And hit that subscribe button, and you never know. You ought to at least review our show and say, "Oh my gosh, they're talking about the Dave Clark 5 this week or something." And I do want to hear what they have to say, so I can make fun of it in the comments. That's why we really do this. What is the thought you have on Clint Eastwood? He is he is iconic. We've talked about people being iconic, but he is one of a kind.
Well, he's got so many movies. Like, for instance, I've seen so many of them, but I still watched one I still hadn't seen before just yesterday, which was his directorial debut, and it was Play Misty for Me from 1971. You could kind of see some of the roughness around the edges. It wasn't quite as taut as his later directing efforts, but you could see kind of his style, emerging. And it was a very interesting movie. And I thought that I had seen Fatal Attraction before, which my first thought was, boy, they lifted a lot of stuff from this movie.
Yeah.
They really did.
Don't they say creativity is really how well do you copy other people?
Yeah. And, there's nothing original anymore,
Clint Eastwood, my thought, I'm looking over Clint Eastwood, and there's really nobody quite like him, but he's got these little, it's like there's these little different Clint Eastwoods. There's just different Clint Eastwoods that show up. And I made a list. I came up with 5 different worlds that.
Well, cool. Let's hear it.
Well, the first one is the Western character. The man with no name. And the thing that I really, in thinking about Clint Eastwood, the thing I really admire about him, and particularly with his movies, is he doesn't just see the movie he's in. He sees everything that goes along with a movie in the aftermath. And then in subsequent movies, he often references previous movies in various ways, or gives nods to these various movies in different ways. Of course, he started out in the cowboy genre. He was on Rawhide. He was a TV star. He was one of the big stars of TV. Could have stayed on TV forever and done 30 years like Michael Landon did, and nothing against what Michael Landon did, but he
James
could.
Arnest, you know,
Oh
guys.
yeah, he could have gone from one TV series to another, or just taken the Rowdy Yates character, who that's who he played on Rawhide, and probably spun him off into a some other type of Western where maybe he owns a ranch or he's the local sheriff or
Yeah, Sheriff Rowdy.
sure. And but instead he went to the movies, and nobody really seemed to want him, not the way he wanted to be wanted, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up doing the spaghetti westerns, and then he takes basically the same character he plays in the spaghetti westerns, the man with no name, and just fits that man with no name into different situations. And he's he's a ghost in a couple of movies. Clearly, he's some kind of supernatural character in Pale Rider, which is the second of I can't even think of the name of the first movie where he
paints the town red. That's
right.
I keep saying the town red someday. I know that's it.
But no, yeah, and I mean, it does matter. You can look it up easily.
High
But
Plains Drifter. High Plains Drifter.
High Plains Drifter, and then
that was
Pale
my
Rider.
intro to Clint. That was the first Clint Eastwood movie I ever saw in my life. Which that's a pretty good one to start on, you know.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, and then he kind of drifts away from that and goes into his Dirty Harry.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Clint as Dirty Harry, who was a modern detective. He was still the man with no name in a way, but it's as a cowboy, and you feel like Clint saw that. I feel pretty confident that Clint maybe looked at it that way. It says, yeah, well, what if the man with no name were moved into modern times? What would he be like? Well, he'd be Dirty Harry is what he would be.
He'd have a high body count.
Oh yeah, just keep adding it up. I shot the first one because he looked the meanest, and you want to kill the meanest first, or whatever, however you want to describe it. And then there's the comedic Clint that did the movies with the orangutan, Every Which Way But Loose, Every Which Way You Can, and
Bronco
then
Billy.
Bronco Billy, and the Paint Your Wagon, the all that comedic musical comedy. I'm
my wife's favorite movie.
Yeah, you were telling me that Linda really likes.
She loves Paint Your Wagon. And I watched it. I'm not sure why, but hey, you know.
Well, I mean, it's different. And then there's Clint, the director. He goes, there's this little area over here where you can talk about Clint Eastwood as a director. And last but not least, Clint in real life is almost as interesting as the characters that he created or helped create for the big screen. He got into politics, but not in the egocentric way that occasional actors who get into politics. He became the mayor of a small city in California back in the 80s. He was the mayor of Carmel by the Sea in California, a little town with 4,000 people in it. I mean,
that's where Play Misty for Me is set as well.
What now?
That's where Play Misty for Me is set.
Yeah. Carmel. Oh, I didn't even realize.
And it's so funny. He the first thing I caught when he was doing the call letters, he goes, "This is Dave Garvey at KRML."
Brilliant.
Yeah.
He's I mean, there's a lot to unpack when talking about Clint Eastwood, and you can do several documentaries on just each but everything fits, and you get the distinct impression that he meant everything to fit. And I don't know that anybody else has had a career that intertwines with itself and like weaves in and out like his does. And I didn't even mention there's a sixth Clint. There's the Clint, who looks in the mirror, sees an old man, and says, "I'm going to make some movies about old men with nothing to lose."
Yeah.
Well, who cares if they send me to jail? That'll be a good retirement plan. Nobody
Or
will
if they
bother
kill
me.
me, hey, I'm 80 years old, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And there's you get a little of that with John Wayne. John Wayne did
Mhm.
some movies. The Cowboys most notably, where
Yeah.
he's killed. Hey, John Wayne's been around a while, and I think you might compare Clint Eastwood most directly to John Wayne. John Wayne wasn't a director by name, but if you read a little bit about John Wayne directed every movie he was in.
Yeah.
And
He's only listed on the Alamo.
yeah, he's just got a really interesting career. He's got a lot of time. We haven't even talked about. Did you look up how many Oscars Clint Eastwood won?
The only ones I know is the ones he got for Unforgiven, where he finally got, I think he got director and did he get actor that time? I'm not sure.
No, he's never
I
won.
didn't think he'd ever got an actor. Yeah.
Never won
He got
Best Actor.
director, though.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure he deserves Best Actor for anything. He
Mhm.
basically plays a. He's totally you totally get involved in the films and you believe him, but
Yeah.
he takes this. There's this little part of Clint Eastwood that's in everything that he
Yeah.
does. Maybe a big part of Clint Eastwood. So I don't know if he ever deserved Best Actor, but he produced these movies. So he won 4 Academy Awards, and he gets credit for 4 Academy Awards.
Hmm.
Best Director for Unforgiven, that was in 1992,
Hmm.
and Best Picture. And he shared in that because he was in the production side of it
Hmm.
too. He produced it, and then Million Dollar Baby
Yeah.
in 2004. Once again, Best Picture, Best Director, and that's that's really hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, what about Clint and his relationship with critics? When he started out, Ron, the critics laughed at him
They
forever.
told him he was too ugly to be a movie star. That's why he had to go to Italy.
Well, the place where ugly movie stars go to live, I guess, is Italy.
Well,
But
I wonder if he used that old adage, you've got a face for radio when he decided to play a radio disc jockey in his directorial debut. I wonder if that had
oh,
anything to do with it. Big.
what's your favorite Clint Eastwood movie? You
Oh,
said
Outlaw Josie Wales, no
The
doubt,
Outlaw
hands
Judge, yeah.
down, not even close.
And that's almost a comedy.
Yeah,
It's
it's
almost a
funny.
comedy.
Yeah,
They play so much of that movie's played for laughs. I mean, it's deadly. And who can move easily from just almost slapstick comedy
yeah.
to totally dead serious in the same movie? Not too many films can do that.
It's funny in the same way that like Pulp Fiction is funny. It's not really funny, but it's funny. Even amongst all the violence and everything, it's funny.
I
Another
didn't.
one of my favorite movies. So I guess I
There,
like
this
funny violence.
well, I knew this was going to happen. I looked at this tremendous list of Clint Eastwood movies. Now I'm like, I don't know if I should write all this down. I'll just lose things in my notes. I'm just going to
Hmm.
highlight some things. And then I thought, well, inevitably we'll talk about something that isn't on my list. But I just thought I think maybe I laughed the hardest in the last Dirty Harry movie. And I can't think of the name of it, but it was long after the series
Hit
they
its apex. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't know. It was a long time after the what
I know
looked like the
Sudden
final.
Impact was one of the later ones, and seemed
Which
like he
one?
had Sudden Impact was one of the last ones, and I think the last one was um, the I can't think of the last one.
Well, why did you do that to me? You had me hanging. I thought you were going to get it anyway. The
I
last
thought
Dirty
I
Harry
had it right
movie.
on the tip of my brain there.
Well, he kept referencing back to the
Yeah.
first Dirty Harry movie in the
Mhm.
last Dirty Harry movie, and it was there were they were hilarious references. They had a car chase in it, like they did in
The
most of the
Deadpool.
what
The
Deadpool,
Deadpool.
the Deadpool. There we go. And it was, but they referenced back to the first Dirty Harry movie where they had car chases and all that. And they, if you remember in the Deadpool, they had a car chase, but Clint's car was being chased by a radar, a
Yeah.
radio controlled toy,
A little RC. Yeah. I
yeah,
remember that.
that had a
Yeah.
bomb on it. It was hilarious. It was deadly serious, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And Clint can do that easily. And he showed that because, like we said, he made some straight up comedy movies as well are movies that heavily leaned on comedy. But I was trying to think of what my favorite Dirty Harry, favorite Clint Eastwood movie is. I think it's Unforgiven.
Yeah.
Because
that's a damn good one.
well, that one just kind of looked back over and he said it. He said it in interviews, and people figured that when they saw it. This is Clint Eastwood looking back over being a Western star and saying, "Hey, this is what I left out. I'm putting everything in it now. I'm not only telling you the story of a gunfighter, but I'm telling you what it would really be like to be a gunfighter. And it's not glamorous, and it's not that cool, and it's this. I want to make sure I fill those things in for you as you're studying my work and thinking about what it would be like to be a quick draw man, what it would be like to be a gunfighter, somebody who makes his living with a gun, or somebody where a gun plays a big part in who he is. Man, it was just such a good movie, and but he's got a lot of them, and they're most of them very enjoyable. Now he's made a couple. I'm not going to talk about the ones I don't like, but he occasionally will make something that I can't even stay awake through. But very occasional. And go
You
ahead.
made me think about something when you were talking about comedic moments and and scenes and stuff, and I thought of something the late great Gene Siskel described as his favorite. I don't know if it was his all-time favorite Clint Eastwood scene. It might have been, but it was his favorite Dirty Harry scene. I did know that. He said that this one scene said everything to him about what the character was. I think it was during the bank robbery. I believe it was in the first one, and he's just bought a hot dog from a vendor, and he's like across the street from where he sees the bank robbers coming out. His own Harry comes up on it, and he said he's shooting all these guys. He's in a gunfight, and in between the shots, he's like taking bites out of the hot dog.
Yeah.
And he never loses the hot dog the whole time. When he's done, he finishes the hot dog.
And Clint Eastwood, more than any other actor, had a point to make, or had a point he wanted you to debate when you saw that or noticed that. And he's a cerebral person, and it shows in everything he does. He made Bridges of Madison County, which is a huge romance, big hit, and it was just a romantic. It was not a romantic comedy. Not a romantic comedy, just a romance. And there are very few of those. Very few straight romantic movies. This side of the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah.
At least in the theaters. But Clint Eastwood he's just not afraid. He'll try anything.
He just does kind of what he wants to do.
What he wants.
A cool place to be. And he's been in that place for a long time.
He has. Well, when you make enough money early on, I think it frees you up. But he won over the critics. That's the most amazing thing to me is he did one of the most difficult things there is to do, and that is he got, for actors, movie stars, is he got the critics to change their minds about him. And usually those little weasels won't change their minds about anybody.
Well, I think anytime you're doing something you like, you tend to relax and you do a better job at that particular
They do talk about how relaxed he is as a director. And I don't know if behind the scenes he is, but certainly you get that impression.
Well, everybody says that he's like, almost everybody that's ever worked for him said he's like their favorite.
Yeah.
He said he never yells. He said he's always real calm.
Works fast. Everybody gets home on
he
time.
Said he doesn't go like action or anything. He just goes, whenever you're ready.
Let's go. And
that's all he does.
Final thoughts on Clint Eastwood?
My top 5 all time, easily.
Oh,
Actor.
easily. Yeah. Yeah. And the more I talk about him, the more he's kind of moving up there toward number one. He's he and Robert Duvall, Kurt Russell, the guys we've talked
Yep,
about the last
he's
3
one of
weeks, I
those
think.
that I will try the movie if he's in it, and he and Kurt Russell both are that for me. I will try their movies if they're in it.
Val Kilmer, put him in there too, just while we're talking about it. We haven't talked about Val Kilmer. Maybe we'll do that soon. At any rate, Ron, I guess that wraps it up again for Boomer
Yeah.
Bongo
Once
Boulevard. We
again.
were a little more serious than we usually are, but we do have a serious side. Clint Eastwood's a little more serious than we are sometimes. So, at
Yes,
any
he
rate,
is.
we'll be with you next week with some more thoughts on Boomer topics.
Yeah.